off financially as well if you can have a strong showing. All right, we're going to break down, look at some of these teams that are involved in some of the head-to-head matchups, and we'll do that in a moment. And so here we go. When you look at the opportunities that present itself here for so many teams chasing the Champions League title, how about from a youngster standpoint for a kid who might be draft eligible? This is playing in a tournament against grown-ups, against men. You have a strong tournament, your draft stock could go through the roof and really hit a home run financially and move up those draft rankings. We'll take a look at some of those key names to watch here. Our draft analyst is going to drop by a little later on in the show. Well, here we go. Champions League's officially underway. Game number 1 in the books. And look at this youngster who there are a lot of eyes. There was a lot of hype and getting a lot of buzz from a draft stock standpoint. And I'll tell you what, he continues to play like this throughout the tournament. His stock will go through the roof. And you keep in mind, here's the difference for kids playing junior back in North America. This youngster's doing it against men. And if you're holding your own and then some against men as a teenager, boy, that's next level, and his draft stock could go sky high. All right, we'll take a look at some of these other scores around the league.
This Champions League is so cool. The teams play against others from around Europe. They don't really know most of the other teams. Lots of talk about this young player, and he delivers early.
Scored by number 8. Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 23 seconds.
Continue to push along, try and find a way to crack the defense. They've done it, and this game is tied.
Absolutely clutch!
Scored by number 8, assisted by number 98, and by number 30. Time of the goal, 19 minutes, 2 seconds.
something. You can't touch it, you can't see it, but you can feel it. You get one, you get another one. Now you're rolling. This kid's going to be a star here. The expectation coming into the Champions League was he's going to be able to make an immediate impact. He's done that, and I think he'll continue to do it wherever he goes.
Scored by number 81, Ryan Lyle. Final goal, 6 minutes, 22 seconds.
after scoring once, they didn't just settle the game down. They went after it again. Surprise guy in the building. Look at the way he reacted when that puck went into the net. Outstanding effort. Goalie just can't keep up with this. He's close to the net, but he's still able to have enough room to beat the goaltender. The puck ends up in the back of the net.
What a night.
James, one's good, two's better. He finishes off this opportunity, and now it's a great night. It's a really good shot, and once that puck's deflected in front of the net, there's traffic, nobody can find it quick enough. The goalie sure can't. It's in the net. As we look ahead to the semifinal matchups in the Champions League, I'll tell you what, one storyline I am so intrigued to continue to watch is involving the youngster, and he has played so well in Champions League play up to this point. Just think about his draft stock going through the roof right now. I've talked to a couple of scouts who've been really impressed by the way he has shown against adults, right? This is a men's league, right? And this kid is showing that he belongs. So can he make that next jump wherever he's playing next year? The way that he's playing, I'm confident that he can. All right, meantime, when you look at the other matchup in the semifinals, all right, I told you I wanted to get back and look at some of the draft watch, sort of stock watches here for some of these young players. I want to go to the Champions League here, and I have really been impressed by the youngster who is really starting to torch some of these men that he's playing. It's a boy against men, and the boy is winning out here on this one. Really like to see where he's going. His stock is soaring in my books. And I thought, personally speaking, one name that will be likely called near the top, if not the top, of the NHL draft coming up in the summer is from the youngster that we saw in the Champions League. What a performance. What a show he put on. I talked to a few scouts that absolutely raved, and they didn't have him very high at the beginning of the season, but throughout the Champions League, they could not look away. He would not be denied, and there's stock that has absolutely shot up recently. Now, one name that I think is going to be impacted by his So here we go, the moment of truth almost upon us, Champions League final. And I'll tell you what, you want one of my keys to the game going into this one? Keep an eye on the youngster. He has been lights out in this tournament so far. I love the game he's played throughout the entire tournament. And you watch, he has a chance to be a major difference maker the way he has played so far. Let's see if he can carry that over into the Champions League. Again, there's lots of expectations always around this kid, and the rookie doesn't disappoint. This guy is a scorer.
Or if you will, La Ligue Champion. Better?
Sure. When you get into this position, that puck's got to be off your stick in a hurry. You don't have much time to think about it. Well, he just got an instruction, James, before he went out on the ice.
Scored by number 8, assisted by number 7. Time of the goal, 7 minutes, 30 seconds.
Get it done on the road is a really special accomplishment. You're dealing with checkers, you're dealing with the line matchups, and it doesn't matter where you are. 3 is a great night. James, how many timeouts can you have? Because they need one now, they needed one before, and the way this is going, they're going to need one in a few minutes.
Or they could use the ghost of Roger Nielsen to wave that white towel.
Last minute of play in the third period.
And he scores what should end it.
That should wrap it up. Pretty comfortable now with that empty netter.
Scored by number 8, assisted by number 26. 19 minutes, 18 seconds.
So your Champions League winners for this upcoming year, and I'll tell you what, one of the big stars in my mind was their youngster, What a performance by the kid. You don't expect those types of performances from youngsters in a league or in a tournament like this. And I thought he was one of the best players all tournament long. His draft stock, to me, through the roof. To me, he looks like he can play in the NHL now, based on the efforts that we saw in that Champions League. Really impressed. A couple of other things that really impressed me on the way to this. And how about this over the weekend? From what I was told, the Montreal Canadiens had an interview with the youngster. And yeah, how about that, Les Glorieux? And how does that play out in La Belle Province? There's a very intriguing symmetry between the Habs and this youngster. And I do wonder, is this going to be a fit on draft day? With much more of their thoughts on this, we're going to head down. And from what I was told over the weekend, the New Jersey Devils had a fairly lengthy interview with the kid. And boy, oh boy, New Jersey's a fascinating sort of wild card in all of this, right? When you think of some of the past few years with some first overall picks, how they've kind of navigated the draft with top picks and their first rounders, this is an interesting one. The Devils could possibly come into play with this one here. A lot of different scenarios playing, a lot of rumors floating around as well. Well, as we inch closer and closer to the big draft day, and I'll tell you what, when we look at some of the draft rankings and some of the scouts that I've talked to, I think we're all kind of on the same page. We've got this kid ranked pretty high, and he has put himself in a position to be a very high selection in that first round when we get to draft day. Keep an eye on him. Mark my words. Anybody who passes on him. Continuing our conversation with Ray Ferraro here on the show, and man, that's got to be a nice moment for the kid getting drafted and hearing his name called.
It's better than that, James. It's the realization, really, of a lifelong dream. I mean, since he's a little kid, he's been dreaming about getting drafted into the NHL.
Now, the understanding that we've got is that the kid was supposed to be heading down to the rink sometime today to kind of check out the new surroundings. This has got to be like the first day of school, Razor.
Guaranteed he would have gone early to go and take a look at the locker room. You walk in there for the first time, you can't believe your lifelong dreams are about to happen.
And when you're looking around, I'm assuming, is he thinking the nameplate might be up there?
Oh, you're hoping, but, he's going to learn that those trainers don't miss very often. The jersey's ready. Your name has never looked so good as when it's on top of your stall. But what I remember, James, is the excitement, the nervousness, how scared you were. And then you're like, I'm in an NHL room. I can't believe this. It is the very best of feelings that you can have till you step on the ice the first time.
A nice opportunity for management and their prized possession, the new shiny draft pick, to kind of have a chance to sit down and get an understanding of where each other kind of sits, what their respective expectations are. I know that a lot of fans are wondering, can he make that jump now? Can he make that jump and be an impact player in the National Hockey League? I think management took him for a reason. There might be that opportunity. I think he's going to get that shot. He's going to get every opportunity to try to make the team this coming year. It's ultimately on the player to ultimately deliver on that, right? So we'll wait and see how things play out. But it certainly sounds like both sides feel very good about this fit based on everything that I've been told. All right, time for a quick break. We're coming back with much more on the other side. So there you have it, a top 10 selection, and certainly a lot of hugs from mom and dad and the family, and with it, comes the expectation. Well, he's signed, sealed, and delivered. Yes, the entry-level contract, better known technically as the ELC. Yeah, you know me, is signed up, and now it's time to find out if he can live up to the hype. I think fans would love to see him make that jump to the opening night roster. Management would love to see it, and I know the kid has every intention of trying to crack it too. All right, enjoy it. The honeymoon's almost over because it's time to shine, and we'll find out in camp. All right, still to come here on the show, our conversation.